Give me courage to love, know the secret of us. Don't hurry my love, nothing good gets away. Satyam jnanam anantam brahma, satyam jnanam anantam brahma, satyam jnanam anantam brahma, satyam jnanam anantam brahma. Wow, suparna sayuja sakaya samanam vriksham parishvasvajati tayoranya pittalam swadvatya nashnananyo abhijagashiti. Om Shiva Shri Shakti Shivoham Shaktyoham.
Om Shanti. We all are born with innate innocence. Every child is beautiful. We have never heard anybody saying that this child is beautiful and this child is not beautiful. Every child looks beautiful because he's born with a unique innocence, a unique beauty. But as the child grows up, the beauty is lost. Where it is lost, the society contaminates the child. That beauty, that innate purity, that sanctity gets defiled, and the child is as if conditioned, hypnotized, and he loses that innate purity which is our real nature, our intrinsic nature. Without profound purity, it is impossible to experience God, who is the very ocean, the very fountain of purity. And what is this purity? Purity is the return journey to your own innocence. The music, the dance, the symphony, the harmony, which was there in a child, is lost, is to go back to the same childhood. It's a journey down the memory lane, absolutely pure, without any dirt, any dust of clouds, of thoughts, of emotions, of vices. Purity is the bridge that connects man to God. God is the greatest reservoir of purity, and we, being the part and parcel of that greatest spark, are intrinsically pure. So Baba always stresses upon that impeccable, immaculate purity, untainted, uncontaminated. So yesterday we saw Baba was talking about Kumars, and they are the one who give the breath of spiritual courage to the dying humanity. Today, बाप दादा मधुबन तथा सेवा स्थानों पर रहने के भाग्यवान हर बच्चे में अब रूहानियत की शक्ति देखना चाहते हैं, लेकिन रूहानियत का बीज है संपूर्ण पवित्रता। स्वप्न तक भी पवित्रता भंग न हो। The seed of spirituality is complete, integrated, uninterrupted purity. A purity that doesn't get breached even in dreams. हर संकल्प ब्रह्मचारी, हर कर्म ब्रह्मचारी, अर्थात ब्रह्मा बाप समान, संपूर्ण और संपन्न हो। Your thought and your actions, both like the Father Brahma, ऐसे ब्रह्मचारी बच्चों के चेहरे में भी पवित्रता की शक्ति रूहानियत के रूप में दिखाई दे, जो सब कुछ अनुभव करे कि यह बाप समान है। हर एक अपने को चेक करे, मेरा चेहरा चलन कितने % रूहानियत तक पहुंचा है। बोलो बच्चे, वह दिन आया है ना? कब? वह अब। बाप दादा के पास तो हर बच्चे का चार्ट है। So again and again Baba stresses upon the keyword of spirituality: complete, integrated, uninterrupted, uncontaminated, unstained, immaculate purity. How to achieve such high level of purity? We have got 4 types of bodies. One is physical body, mental body, emotional body, and spiritual body. To purify these 4 bodies is to achieve the highest form of purity. And the most difficult body to control is which one? Emotional. It's very difficult to control. Intellectually one might have understood the benefits of purity and the dangers of impurity. Physically, one may take up various means and methods and achieve physical purity. One can become physically healthy by change of diet, by cleansing procedures, and so on. But that doesn't guarantee that you will become completely pure. Spiritually, listening to various discourses on purity, practicing meditation, yoga, self-respects, churning, one can come to a certain level of purity. The most difficult one to control is the emotional body. Why? Emotions, they deceive you. There's something known as emotional mastery, which is a process to get rid of emotional slavery and to achieve the state of high emotional intelligence. It is also known as emotional literacy. To become emotionally literate, to come out of emotional poverty, and to enrich the emotions. But the process should start with physical purity, because that's the foundation. They say that hormones in the body, they hijack purity. The purity is kidnapped by the sensual hormones. and one becomes slave. So the journey of purity should begin with physical body, cleansing of physical body. The more, the heavier food we take, purity becomes difficult. The journey of purity starts with lightening the diet, and then purity becomes very easy. The hormones come under control, the senses calm down. Otherwise, the tantalizing pleasures of the sense objects pull you all the time. The senses are in the stage of irritation or high urges, cravings. To calm down the senses, the powerful method is to lighten up the diet, to undergo periods of intermittent fastings, to cleanse the body from inside. You need cleansing procedures. And once you achieve that physical purity, then the next mental purity becomes easy. To control the mental body, intellectual body. Because now your senses are not so much in the stage of agitation and excitement. So once the purity of physical body is achieved, now you start working on mental purity. Mental purity is about thoughts, about intellect. So for that, you need knowledge, Gyan. You read everything which is about purity. Whatever God has said about purity. Whatever scriptures have said about purity and the difference. Whatever great men, Tirthankaras, Buddhas, incarnations, avataras, religious founders, great men, sages, saints, seers, the experienced souls have said about purity. You can understand that knowledge in depth. So, this is logical convincing. The heart is convinced that yes, purity is highest. There is nothing like purity in this world. But we are taught by science something else. Science says purity is unnatural. As I said, a child is born innocent and the society contaminates. Spirituality is the process of unschooling, unlearning. It's not about learning something new. It's about effacing what you already learned. You already walked on the wrong path. Now make the return journey. A man gets up with a huge luggage at the railway station and he calls out for a taxi, and the taxi driver says, "I'll take 500 rupees. The man says it is just near about, though he is coming for this place for the first time, but it is a way to say that. He says, I have come to this place so many times and you are taking 500 rupees is too much. I will carry my luggage on my own. I'll go walking. The taxi driver says, okay, that's your wish and will. So he walks with his luggage. And after half an hour, he meets the same taxi driver again. And now he again tells the driver, how much you will take now, since I already walked. He says 700 rupees. The man says, are you among the bunch of deceivers here? The taxi driver says, you have already gone on the wrong path. Opposite rather. Now I will have to take you another direction. So we are walking but on the wrong path. Now the question of reaching the destination is not there. The question is first to come to the point from where you had started, so that the new journey begins. This is an entirely frustrating experience, and yet we'll have to undertake. You have boarded the wrong train, and the more you repent, the more you cry, the more train is going ahead. You need to stop at some stop. Wherever the train stops, now get down. It's not the question of where the train will stop. Whichever station it stops, you get down. Catch another train and come to the point from where you had started. And then your journey will begin. Whatever you do, but you need to stop. Whether the youth stop the train or the train stops on its own. So second purity is mental purity. Purity at the level of thought. For this you need thorough study, reading, swadhyaya, self-study. You have to sit with all the books, churning, discussing knowledge. What are the benefits of purity and what are the dangers of impurity? That's mental body. You purify the mental body by churning, by reading, by discussing, by thinking, by contemplating, by going in silence, deep churning. The third is emotional body. This emotional body is it's like a uncontrolled child. Emotions are turbulent, very difficult to control. Because nobody has trained us for emotional mastery. We are under the influence of so many emotions, sometimes anger, sometimes love, sometimes care, sometimes hatred, sometimes grudge, sometimes jealousy. In today's Avyakta Murli Baba said there are two reasons for not staying happy all the time. Jealousy. The other person is going ahead of me. People are asking him, they are not asking me. They are after him, they are not after me. They are listening to him, they are not listening to me. He is going ahead, why can't I? Baba said every child is unique, every child is special, no matter who is he. Whether he is one of those 1600 or 9 lakhs. So everyone is special, but you have to put your speciality to work and at proper time. These are the two criteria. Utilize it, whatever speciality you are, or the vehicle of time will go away. You will miss the bus. So jealousy, we are under the influence of jealousy or depression. You get depressed and you start blaming your own fate. My fortune is like that, I am like that. It is a process of self-victimization. You become the target. You make yourself the victim card. You play the victim card. Inferiority complex, self-victimization, blame game, superiority complex, self-torture, sorrow absorption. This masochistic pleasure one achieves in hurting oneself, self-torturing, self-sabotage. This is known as self-sabotage. So Baba said you get disheartened. Because of becoming disheartened and because of this jealousy thing, you cannot stay happy. There are two types of happy children, cheerful children. One who are always sometimes, and there are others who are sometimes. One, it is for short time, and another is long lasting, constant. And again there are three types of cheerfulness or happiness. One, you are happy with oneself. Second is again of three types. First, you are happy because of others. Second, others are happy because of you. And third, you are happy, you are making others happy. 3 types. The second is of 3 types. And the third, you are happy because of your seva. If you have all these 3 things, you will make God happy. And if He is happy, He will give the blessings of being successful to you. So the third body to control or to achieve purity is emotional body. Understand your emotions. Which situation, which emotions arise, and see them as a detached observer. Now the anger is arising. Wait, see it. Don't identify yourself with it. Watch the anger. Watch the breathing pattern. Every emotion is associated with breathing pattern. When you are full of anger, your breathing pattern is changing. When you are full of lust, your breathing pattern changes. When you are full of love, your breathing pattern changes. While looking at the breathing pattern, you can control emotions. So this is also one of the sadhana. Feel, know, understand the breathing pattern. What happens when I am sitting in yoga at Amrit Vela? How smoothly the breath is. And the moment the jealousy arises in me, the breath pattern changes. It becomes fast. So watch from a distance. Now look at this breath. This breath has changed. Why it has changed? Because the emotion has changed. To try to correlate emotions with breathing. And sometimes you can just sit and observe your breathing. If emotions can control breathing, so breathing can also control emotions. If you become extremely angry, start controlling the breath rather than emotions. Something will happen. Start taking deep breath. Or just observe the breath, how it is coming and going. Just by that observance, the mind will become calm. And the fourth body is spiritual body. How to purify the spiritual body? Connect it with the Supreme, the highest. He is the ocean. He is the reservoir. He is the fountain. He is the sky of purity. Just touch Him. Feel Him. Swim in that ocean of purity. Subtle, that is different. These all are 4 are subtle bodies. These are the parts of the subtle body, you can say. This is another classification. Just as Baba has various classifications of things, he will classify so many classifications he gives. 3 types of happiness and then 2 types of happiness. Yeah, to stay busy, you have to have churning in different. So these are the 4 types of body, and these 4 types of body have got 4 types of hunger. Physical hunger, mental hunger, emotional hunger, and spiritual hunger. Unless and until the hunger is quenched, the thirst is quaffed, there is no stability. So purity is achieved when you become hunger free, thirst free. No hunger, no thirst. That's the stage of complete purity. Physical body urges for physical things. Emotional body, mental body, spiritual body. All the hunger is calmed down. There's no more hunger for anything now. That is the stage of fullness, bliss, happiness. So, Baba says, attain the stage of complete purity, unadulterated purity, uncontaminated purity. You are hypnotized with impurity. Now dehypnotize yourself. You are conditioned with impurity. Now decondition yourself. Undergo the process of dehypnotization. Om Shanti.